today we'll be speaking to none other than our very own Bhavi, who also happens to be Creative Director at Advocate Art Agency. She's going to be speaking to you about what agents really want to see and what illustrations you should have in your illustration portfolio. So I'm really excited to hear her tips on how to get you noticed by those agents as you apply to agencies.
Hi, I'm Bhavi and I'm the Art Licensing Manager for Advocate Art Limited based in London. When it comes to representation, there's a few things that we look for in an artist's portfolio when they submit to us. Whether you're a picture book artist or a middle grade artist, it's really important that you submit both character studies and full scene artwork in your portfolio. This is so that we can get an idea for how you bring your characters to life, and also if they're appropriate for the type of age group that you want to illustrate for. We also ask for some full scenes because it gives us a chance to see how the characters and the narrative interact with each other. It also gives us an overview of how the story comes together as a whole. In addition to these two things, I would also recommend that for middle grade artists, you submit some black and white artwork and some cover designs as well. This is because a lot of publishers who specialise in middle grade publishing will often want to work with an artist who can do cover design as well as the internal artwork. If you also have some experience in typography, this gives you a slightly higher advantage because a lot of the briefs that we see today usually involve the integration of typography with the illustration. This is why publishers lean more towards artists like this, because they can then focus on creating one strong, cohesive cover design. There are also some forever trending characters, objects, and concepts that we think all publishers should be putting into their portfolio. In the publishing industry, we call these high interest elements. And some of the most recent and on-trend themes that a lot of publishers are trying to get into their list involve dinosaurs, unicorns, dragons, mythical creatures, family scenes, and the most important, diversity. I would recommend that for any illustrators who haven't got as much diversity in their portfolio, start to introduce some of this into their work as much and as often as possible. This is because in the publishing industry, we're finding that more and more publishers are consciously asking for more artists that can do diversity. They want to be able to represent and include all different kinds of people. So whether it's celebrating different cultures or featuring characters of different ethnicities, skin tones, religion, or even different abilities, these are all great ways to introduce some diversity into your portfolio. Our world is such a beautiful and varied place, and as illustrators, we need to make sure that we're representing it in the best way possible. In addition to all of that, it's also great to see some client-led projects in your portfolio. This is so we can get an idea of the type of clients that you've attracted in the past, what sort of projects you've worked on, and also the age group that they were targeted to. It also gives us a chance to see how adaptable and versatile your style is and how you responded to a live brief. We also love to see works in progress, so if you have sketches or any little ideas that you've been jotting down, definitely send them over because we love to see that part of the creative process too. I often get asked by illustrators if they should be sending in their social media along with their portfolio, and I would 100% recommend that all artists should submit their social media handles along with their portfolio. Alongside the exposure it gives an artist, I think it's a great way for prospective clients and an agency to see how an artist works. The thing I love most about social media is often I will find pieces in an artist's social media that haven't been included in a portfolio. So it's great for me to see more of your work if you submit both a portfolio and your social media. It's also lovely for me to see artists post things on their stories where they're showing a piece of artwork at conception, and then I get to see that whole process all the way through to the complete final product. For me, it feels like I'm on the creative journey with the artist, and I think it's a great way to get an insight into how they work. But also, we like to see social media because we can get a feel for the audience you're attracting, the type of clients you might have worked for and how you've promoted those projects, and also what inspires you. So where possible, please do send in your social media accounts along with your portfolio submissions. The thing that makes an illustrator stand out to me is an artist who has a clear focus in their portfolio, an understanding of their strengths, and an artist who is ambitious and experimental with their style. I think it's great that artists are willing to be open with their look and try different things, but I will say that it's worth being aware of that fine line between a portfolio looking ambitious and a portfolio looking random. As an illustrator, first think about what style is it that you enjoy working in? What clients do you want to work for? And what sort of style do you want to do these sorts of projects in? Once you know what that is, make this the forefront of your portfolio, and I would recommend having 10 to 15 pieces that best represent you as an artist and that best make you recognizable in the market. I would also recommend that you put in pieces that are slightly different to your normal style. This adds a bit of freshness to your portfolio, some newness, it breaks up the body of work, and it also adds a surprise element to prospective clients and agencies when they're reviewing your portfolio. I would also recommend that artists should be open to adapting their style. So think about other things that you can bring into your normal style. Maybe it's a different color palette, trying out different textures, creating your characters in a different way. Explore different options and see what works best for you. I would also say that when it comes to creating new work, don't create work because it's trending in the market and you feel you need to include it in your portfolio. Create work that you're passionate about and have a genuine interest in, because this means that you will be able to enjoy the projects that you're given from clients because it's an area that you have a focus, a passion, and a genuine interest in. My last piece of advice to any illustrators who are either thinking about or seeking representation with an agency would firstly be to keep creating new work. Make sure your portfolio is fresh, new, and up to date. Also think about the type of clients you want to work for. Have a look at their website, their catalogues, and their social media to get a good understanding for what their publishing list consists of. This will help you get a feel for the type of books they're putting out there in the market and how you as an artist can then start to tailor your portfolio to attract those particular clients and those particular projects that you want to be working on. I would also recommend that all artists should be undertaking some form of market research and getting a good understanding for what those trending themes are and being aware of those high interest elements. Once you start to integrate these things into your portfolio, it will help you as an illustrator get more exposure. And lastly, I would say that make sure that the work you're putting out there best represents you as an artist and your style. Make sure your work is recognizable, so try not to change and adapt your style too much and too often, because that can make it difficult for clients to recognize you. So make sure that the work you're putting out there is the type of work you want to be attracting for yourself and best represents you as an artist.